Hello and welcome to On Point. My name is Rory O'Sullivan. On today's show, we'll discuss whether or not athletic scholarships help young black males. Joining me today is Assistant Athletics Director of Media Relations for Cal State Northridge, Bob Vazquez, and the Advisor for Educational Opportunity Program and a Pan-African Studies Professor, James Henry. Mr. Vazquez, do you think that these scholarships and the opportunity to go to college and get a full ride, does that help young black males throughout their life, or?
I think it does. It's an avenue that, being in athletics for so many years, absolutely, to have the opportunity to not only play athletics, but also to pursue an athletic scholarship where the school or the athletic department pays for your education. I think that's a great deal, and it's given a lot of people who might not otherwise have had the opportunity to go to school because of their financial situation. It's been a great deal. I've been in athletics for a long time, and it's proud to see athletes who may not have had the opportunity through full ride scholarships, graduate and move on and become productive citizens.
What about you, Mr. Henry?
Certainly, I agree with everything he said. But I think also, in terms of, throughout their whole life, for even those who may not, matriculate through the university and graduate, you still get something from a university experience that they may not necessarily have also had, just survival skills.
Now, you, Mr. Henry, you were an athlete here on Cal State Northridge. How did that improve your life? Did it improve your life?
Yes, definitely. I wasn't on a scholarship. I played football as a freshman in 1985, and I also ran track for 3 years. For one, they allowed me to come to school early. We used to have the towers as one of our dormitories, even though I was like literally the only person in the dormitory because football started like 2 weeks before school started. So automatically, in my own experience, I was, having to mature immediately, But I mean, that wasn't my access to the university. I was regular admissible, but I was also an EOP student, but I still was a first-generation low-income student. Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Vazquez?
They always say the 4 best years of your life are going through school, going through college, and I certainly agree with. In my association with athletics, like I said, I've known a lot of students who may have not have had the opportunity, who may have not had the real grades, maybe have had to go to a junior college to transfer to a 4-year institution. And I think for a lot of people, we are maybe a little immature when we're in high school, and we sort of grow up when we start going to school and through college. And it's a nice story to see when someone says, you can't make it to be successful in life when you're in high school, but have the opportunity, that avenue open through athletics and through the opportunity to get a scholarship. You kind of grow up, you kind of mature. There's certain responsibilities. Basically an athletic scholarship is a contract. We give you the opportunity to go through school, and then we expect you to perform on the athletic field. And so there is a contract between the student athlete and the university. And I'd say it's been a win-win situation with all the people that I've known who, I'm proud to say, were told maybe you're not the greatest student in the world, but then they prove people wrong through the athletic scholarship, and they graduate, and they certainly become productive citizens, and happy to say that they've done well in life.
Now, it is a great opportunity. I think we all agree on that. I certainly believe it's a great opportunity. But what about the disparity between black graduation rates and white graduation rates? There was a study put on by a school in Florida, Central Florida, and what they basically said was the year that the Matadors went to the tournament in 2009, 84% of white students from those schools that participated in the tournament went on to graduate, while only 56% of black students graduated. Of course, that's the men's side of the tournament. And Cal State Northridge had the lowest grad rate of any team at only 8%. I mean, Can you speak to that a little bit?
It's a reality, and it's something that I know is discussed quite often in the athletic department, and that's a goal, is to increase the graduation rate of our students every year. It's something we take very seriously, and it's a difficult process, but it's something that that is a priority. It's something that we look at, and we try. It's a tough time, with budgets the way they are, particularly in the UC system and the Cal State University system. It's difficult, and I'm not saying the problem is going to be solved tomorrow. It's a slow process, and sometimes you take baby steps, but it's a priority. It's something we acknowledge. We admit that situation, and we're not going to dismiss that situation, but year by year we attempt to make things better for our student athletes, be it black, white, brown, or whatever.
Mr. Henry, 8% graduation rate for Cal State Northridge men's basketball team, 2009. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, to speak to both parts that you mentioned, I think overall, in the tournament, like you mentioned, we know that many of our student athletes, especially in terms of basketball, develop those skills in inner city communities. All right. We also know that inner city schools traditionally don't give out, the best education, in particular to African American males. So of course that would create that disparity in the larger school point that you mentioned. But as far as Cal State Northridge, we actually do have a really good structure for our student athletes. Down the hall from my office, we have the Student Athletic Advisement Center, and we also have to do their advisements along with those athletic advisors. So we have they have a tutoring component for them. They do workshops. So the opportunity is there for them to get help. Problem comes in is for us to identify where has that ball fallen, where in terms of the opportunities that we have for our student athletes, all of them, but in basketball in particular, have we, how have we gotten to that percentage?
Where are the roadblocks? I mean, what is stopping these students? Are they not self-motivated?
Well, as James said, I think, basketball is an inner city sport. It's a city sport, and I must say, the educational system in those environments is probably not the best compared to, let's say, a white, middle-class, rural community. And so it's been tough for those students. And I'm not saying that well, in essence, they're not on the same playing field as some other sports, be it tennis, swimming, gymnastics. It's a tough situation. Football is another sport where the graduation rates are not very high. So it's a tough area for those kids. And then they come into an environment where they're leaving the inner city and they come to a university like Cal State Northridge, where you have a lot of different types of students, kids from middle class, upper class, lower class. It makes it very difficult for them. But I will say this, I think the coaches, they are the parents of those student athletes for the 4 years that they've been here. And I think they take an interest and they do their best under the circumstances to make sure those kids not only play good sports, but also get their education as well. And I think you see it. You don't see it on game day, but during the course of the week when there are no games, those coaches are providing tutors. They're providing a mentorship, so to speak. They're always asking these student athletes, how are you doing in school? Do you need help? There is, as James mentioned, there is help on campus. It's a tough situation, but I think the coaches are doing the best they can.